we're on a Zoom call right now. Everybody's got their own podcast. Everybody's got their own content. Everybody's trying to be a content creator, whether it's, college kids, athletes, musicians, whatever. Do you think that your approach to wanting to pursue journalism would have been different? Because, you talk about, going back to school because you wanted to pursue journalism. You take a mortgage out of your home in order to do it. You're sacrificing a lot. If you had the technology that we have today back then, would you have gone back to school, or would you have just kind of like tried to pick people's brains about certain things and then start your own stuff, as opposed to, again, like going out of your way, spending a lot of money, and then, trying to go a different route? Because I'm just curious about that. Because, again, a lot of kids don't necessarily have the degrees today, but they're finding ways to make it done just because they have a passion for it.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think I've ever been asked that question. I think for me, I love school. I've always been a nerd. I've always loved education. I could go and get another, I have a master's. I could go on forever and get a billion degrees. But I don't, that wasn't even an option. There was no podcast when I went back to, when I was in college. I've been out of college now for, I graduated with my master's in 2003. So what year is this? 21. I've been out of college 18 years already. I mean, it's very, it's a very different world. That being said, I think there's something to be said about the formal education of journalism and, kind of the right way to go about correspondence and writing. I mean, television is very different than print, obviously, but in my opinion, I tell people this all the time, you certainly don't need a master's degree. The only reason I have one is because I already had a bachelor's in something completely different. So there's no right way to go about this business. The one common denominator that I think people that are successful, that have achieved a certain level in this industry, is work ethic. Work ethic, initiative, drive, sacrifice, being willing to make sacrifices. I mean, everybody wants to start on air in Los Angeles. It doesn't work that way. You have to pay your dues. It took me a long time to get to LA, and I was there for 7 years, and I chose to leave because of personal reasons, but it takes a long time, and everybody wants to have the Dodgers job. Everyone wants to have the Yankees job, or wants to be Monday Night Football sideline or whatever. It's a process, and nobody has the same path. But we all who have achieved that level have all worked our tails off to get there. Whatever the path was, we all had that same drive and willingness to sacrifice.